In today's video, we're taking a look at how to cook a turkey on a gas grill, easy and simple. This is so easy, anyone could do. Everything that we use on the video, we're gonna leave the link on the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. That does help us out a lot, thank you. The good thing about this technique is that not only it frees up space on the oven, it's also a very simple process. Plus the most important thing, you would have juicy, great tasting turkey. So the first thing that you wanna do is verify that your turkey is dead. Once you verify that, you're ready for the next step. And that is throwing out your turkey. Unless you bought it on frozen, in that case, we salute you. You're a step above the rest of us. And according to the USDA, it recommends that we do that on the refrigerator. 1 day per 4 to 5 pounds of weight of turkey. And if you want to speed up that process, what we like to do is take out the basket from the vegetables at the bottom and place them in that area. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way, which is the fastest way, on the sink. No matter which technique you use, you are the king, queen, both or none of your castle. Just don't let your significant other, spouse, partner, friend, family member know, because the last thing you want is to lose your kingdom the same day you declared it. And that's a pro tip. Now that we verify that our turkey is dead and unfrozen, we're ready for the next step. And what we want to do is remove all the parts from inside of the bird and any extra skin or fat that we want to remove. And remember, all these parts we can use for the gravy. If you want to check out our video on great homemade gravy and easy, we'll leave a link on the description. We also like to remove the plastic pop-up doneness gauge on the turkey, because to get the best juicy tasting turkey, using a thermometer is the way to go. But if you don't have one, then you can leave it in. So now that you gave that turkey a facelift, we're ready for the next step. And what we like to do before we season our bird is pull the skin away from the meat, because the last thing you want after going through all that surgery is to look at the face of your guest as they look at the turkey and it seems that they're looking at a Rocky movie. In our case, we like to snip off the tips of the wings because usually they do get burned. But you can always cover them with aluminum foil, or you can bend them back to the backside to avoid any extra crispiness. And when we mean crispiness, is the one that you bite into and there's a sour tasting taste in your mouth that doesn't go away with water. And now that your bird has gotten pampered, went through surgery, we're finally ready to season the bird. And we like to use the dry brine method. It avoids using big containers, water, more space on your refrigerator, and we also feel that we get better tasting turkey. And what we like to do is 1 tablespoon of salt per every 6 to 7 pounds. And we want that same amount of black pepper. So in this case, this bird is about 17 pounds, and we're gonna use 3 tablespoons of salt and 3 tablespoons of black pepper. And because we wanna get maximum tip, we wanna get every nook and cranny space available. That deep tissue massage this bird is going to get is gonna get envied through years and years to come. Show the world why they say you have the magic. Always remember to use both arms for an even pump. And remember, the most important thing, we want to get the salt and pepper under the skin. Every nook and cranny we can get is gonna assure us the best tasting turkey. Now that your turkey's sleeping after that massage, we're ready to take our victim to the torture room. I mean to the refrigerator, so the seasoning could penetrate all the way to the last fiber of that bird. And we want to do that to a minimum of 4 hours to 24 hours, or you can even go 48 hours. But we notice overnight is good enough, so just doing it the day before is the way to go. But if you're strapped on time, 4 hours does the trick. But if you want, don't even season it at all. Just throw some gravy on it, call it a day, and don't even cook the turkey. Why have turkey anyways? Just show them the empty gas grill. That should be suffice. I mean, let's get back to the video. And remember, you can use any container to place your bird to season on the refrigerator. You can use a big soup pot. You can even use a pan and wrap it with cling wrap, aluminum foil. You can use a bag. Just make sure you don't use a scented bag. No matter what utensil you use, that seasoning is gonna penetrate. As you can see, our bird has taken a pinkish, tighter skin look, meaning our seasoning has penetrated, and we're gonna have a great tasting turkey. Now that we showed the world our plastic surgery skills, we're ready to create a compound butter, which is easy to make, and it's gonna give it that extra juiciness 1-2 punch that we're looking for. We're gonna need 1 stick of butter, preferably unsalted. Next, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. We're gonna use 1 teaspoon of sage, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, and 1 teaspoon of thyme. In this case, we're using dried ingredients, but also you can use fresh. No matter which of the two you use, you're gonna have great tasting turkey and juicy as well. And basically what we're gonna do is just take our fork, mix it all in until we have one uniform magic potion. I mean compound butter. And this is the part of the video where things get sexy. This is where you ensure that you get the maximum tip available to humankind. You'll be rich in no time. We're basically going to take our compound butter and rub it under the skin, inside the bird, every nook and cranny except on top of the skin. And if you get on the skin, we do want to wipe that off, because the last thing we want is remember that crunchy tasting piece of meat that if you drink some water, it still doesn't go away, aka browning too fast. Now that you showed the world what your beautiful sexy hands can do, we're ready for the next step, and that is prepare our cooking vessel. It could be either a roasting pan or a disposable pan. What we want to do is create the environment to keep the turkey juicy, but also give us a little present of goodness to make gravy. And even if you don't use it for gravy, the liquid gold that you're gonna have at the bottom, you can always take a spoon when serving the turkey and splash a little bit of that liquid gold over the meat once it's cut, and that's gonna give it that roundhouse kick to the face of deliciousness that you'll thank us later. And what we're placing is just rough cut onions, carrots, and celery sticks. And depending on your pan size, we want to place enough water to cover the bottom. In our case, we're using 4 cups. In your case, it could be 2 cups, depending on the size of your pan. And now that our turkey is sleeping again, we're gonna go to the third star of the show, and that is your spouse or partner, I mean to the gas grill. In this particular grill, we do have to remove the top grate so we can have more space for the turkey, which is the second star of the show. This is the part of the video where you can take your grilling skill to another level, and it's so easy by just having a 2-way thermometer, because sometimes the temperature of your grill may be off, or because the thermometer is located at a certain place, you really don't know what temperature is going around the area where you place your turkey. We'll leave links on the description, but basically we're gonna put one of the probes close to the turkey area and the other one on the bird. But remember, you can always use the thermometer on your grill, or you can do it the old-fashioned way of eyeballing it. We're still going to show you how we set our grill to get our desired temperature, and what we're looking for is 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176.6 Celsius. And first, to get our grill hot, we just want to turn on all the knobs. Like a great philosopher once said, get it hot in there. Once we gotten close to our desired temperature, then what we want to do is place the turkey in the middle of the grill. So basically what we're going to do is each burner that's not under the turkey, in this case the 2 outer side ones, are the ones that are going to provide the most heat. And depending on the size of your grill, the ones under the turkey could be placed on low or even turned off. Because remember, what we want to create inside the grill, it's oven-like consistency where we get heat everywhere, but not too much heat at the bottom that our vegetables and water burn and remove the humidity that we created inside this vessel to get a juicy turkey. So no matter the size of your grill, what we want to do, it's whatever's under the turkey on low, including the roasting pan, and everything that's not under the roasting pan, usually on high or on the middle. Now that we have the best location for your turkey on the grill, we want to place the thermometer on either the thickest part of the breast or the thickest part of the thigh without touching the bone. In our case, we prefer the breast because that's the part that could get dry, and we want to avoid that. And the temperature that we're looking for is 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 71.1 Celsius. And according to the interwebs, the doneness temperature for a turkey should be 165 on the breast and 175 on the thighs. We like to pull it off at 160 because meanwhile the turkey rests, the temperature will still keep rising for a few more minutes, getting to our desired temperature. This is what we found that keeps the temperature on the grill consistent. At 350, 357, 355, it's always gonna fluctuate. Remember, you have wind, it's not a perfect oven. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just wanna have it around the ballpark area. So we notice the outer knobs, we have it like on the number 3 or the middle, then the two next to them, we have it on low, and then the middle one, we just have it off. And remember, depending on the size of your grill and how many burners you have, where you're gonna place the turkey, how many knobs you want on or off or high or low is always the way to go. Just remember, you're gonna be like Homer on The Simpsons, playing with knobs up and down for the next few hours. Now we have reached the first hour, and what we like to do at this point is verify if we need any water on the pan. Second, we want to cover our breast with aluminum foil to prevent any excess browning at the end. The internal temperature of our bird is marking 133 degrees Fahrenheit, which also marks our second hour. And at this point, what we like to do is verify the water content on our pan to avoid that crispiness we talked about that doesn't go away with water. We check the breast to see that it's not over browning, and if it is, we adjust the aluminum foil to avoid that, and we'll give it one more hour. After that point, this is the time where you start checking the temperature. The good thing about this thermometer that it is wireless, and you can be on the couch relaxing, drinking an ice cold, bubbly, liquid gold sparkling water. And now we've come to the fork in the road. When we hit the 150 mark or the third hour, this is where we like to remove the aluminum foil, verify the water content on our roasting pan, and we wait for the last 10 degrees. If you notice it's over browning, you can always place the aluminum foil back to avoid that. But remember, this is just a playbook. If you want to remove it at 165, then you can remove the aluminum foil at 160. And now we've done it. 3 hours and about 15-20 minutes, we've reached 160 degrees Fahrenheit or 71.1 Celsius. We go ahead and remove the thermometer from the bird. Unless you like giving surprises to your guests, you can also use your thermometer to probe in other places to verify that you have the desired temperature all around. Always remember not to hit the bone. Now comes the hardest part of the whole video, and that is waiting. So now we want to let the bird rest for a minimum of 20 minutes, for a larger bird up to 40 minutes. This is going to let the turkey finish cooking, but most importantly is going to keep the juices inside the bird and not letting it end up on the cutting board. And remember, if you want your turkey to get more browner, you can always leave it a few more minutes on the grill. With the bottom of the roasting pan, all that delicious goodness, we can make a delicious tasting gravy. We'll leave a link to our video on how to do that. And here's a listen on how crispy the skin came out. But if that's not enough, we're gonna carve a little bit of the turkey and you're gonna see all the juices that it releases. It's very tender and juicy. And now you've done it. You become a master of the turkey world inside the gas grill metaverse of your generation. You can pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Don't forget, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comment section below. Either someone on the StatUpBox team or someone on the YouTube community can help you out with an answer. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and here's a link to our latest video.